I'm digging the Christmas background, Joe. This is really good. You did a fantastic job with that.
Thanks. The Christmas background with the little alien. If you want a header, I can make you a header for Facebook.
Yeah. Well, I changed the header on my Twitter account.
Yeah. Do the countdown.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. So, got a lot to get into. A lot of Spurs talk today. Focal point about that. And I was going to ask you a question. They were kind of joking in our chat yesterday, right? If you want to get one of the jackals on, dude, you want to get Big Bread or that other guy that
I ain't scared. I ain't scared. Bring it.
Oh, man. You want to get Big Red on? The leader of the Jackals?
I'm
Who
fine
would
with
you
that.
ask him?
Well, I don't want to go yet because I haven't been to a game at the Frost Bank Center this year. So I don't have the full, experience yet. Did you see comedian Andy Dick OD'd last night?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. That dude's a weird ass though, man. There's something wrong with him.
Isn't he the one that is accused of getting Chris Farley hooked on drugs?
Yeah, man. That guy, he's got his own issues. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Joy-Con. Ole, ole, ole. Stupid, stupid.
A 3-second thing that'll live in infamy here on the Area 210 podcast.
Area 210, where the dreams don't fade. From the river walk nights to the Alamo shade. We rise together through the highs and the lows. Area 210, oh, it's the life that we chose.
We're rising together on a Cup Wednesday. That's right. It's the Emirates Cup today. 9 o'clock tip-off between the San Antonio Spurs and the Los Angeles Lakers. It is a knockout round. Only 8 teams in the NBA are still in the Emirates Cup finals. The tournament still. Spurs being one of those 8. Again, tonight, tip-off at 9 o'clock. It's also Wednesday over at P.F. Chang's La Cantera, where they have half-off bottles of champagne and wine. The chat powered by P.F. Chang's La Cantera is up and running. Good morning, everybody. I see Sam Salinas in the house, Nesio drummer, Chris Gonzalez, Tex-Mex Frank, Sam Salinas, Real Bobby, Joy-Con is here, See World. Hey, that's a new name for us. Very, very cool. Mario Cavazos, Tornado Dallas. Good morning, fellas. JHNSB also in the house. But big day for the Spurs and lots of debate involving Spurs Twitter right now. Okay, because there's on one end, we look at the Spurs record, Joe, we think to ourselves, we're happy with that, right? We've got to be happy with the 16-7 start. If we had been told before the season started that after 23 games, the Spurs would be 16-7, we would have been ecstatic. We would have been thinking to ourselves, man, Wemby must be balling, must be playing at an all-star MVP level, right? But no, what happened? The Spurs are 16-7 despite the fact that Wemby has missed half the season, despite the fact that Dylan Harper missed a good chunk of time, despite the fact that we missed the first 3 weeks with De'Aaron Fox out with an injury, despite the fact that Mitch Johnson is a rookie NBA head coach and his schemes and his lineups are a little bit shaky at times. Despite all that, Joe, Spurs are 16-7. And a lot of people are asking the question, well, what about Victor Wembanyama? Like, how are the Spurs doing this without Wemby, going 8-3 without Wemby on the court? And it says a lot about the team, but I don't think that Spurs fans have fully grasped exactly what's going on with this team, how brilliant this team has played despite it all.
How good they are. And this is courtesy of Don Harris via the X. And he was just going on to say how well the Spurs have been in the absence of one Victor Wembanyama in the 11 games that he's missed. They've gone 8-3.
Right.
And now they're what on the they're vying for they're in the knockout round, right, of the Emirates Cup quarter semifinal here against the Lakers.
Right.
Harper's back. He's looking good. We got Stephon Castle back against the Pels now. The team's almost at full strength. De'Aaron Fox is playing great. The Toyota Corolla hitting his stride,
On
And
cruise control.
Yeah, he's on cruise control, and a lot of the things is that we don't talk enough about is how well this team is playing in the absence of one Victor Wembanyama. But more importantly, what is that a testament to? Is that a testament to developing said players, or is this more of a coaching situation? You know, what is the magic sauce right now that has this team playing at a high level in the absence of one Victor Wembanyama?
Well, to answer your question, everyone's buying into the program. Everyone's
Okay.
buying in to the culture. Everyone's buying in. We're seeing these pregame warm up, and I know it's silly. You see the Spurs getting together before the game, dancing to Miley Cyrus, dancing to other pop star songs, and Keldon Johnson's behind that, right?
Yeah.
And they're getting hyped before the game and jumping up and down. Luke Cornett looks as though he's having the most fun of his entire life. He's the life of the party over there. Everyone's buying into it. They seem to appreciate each other, love each other, and they support each other on the court. And what we're watching right now is an egoless team. And that is very impressive in the year 2025 to have a team that doesn't have an ego, that has a team that tells Keldon Johnson, who at one point in his career averaged 22 points per game, hey, man, you're the eighth guy on the team. But when you're out there, we're going to give you 20, 22 minutes of burn. Go get 14 points. And he goes and does it consistently. And when you look at Luke Cornett, the big elote, and go, hey, Luke, we're going to need you to start today. We're going to need you to come off the bench today. We're going to need you to guard their biggest guy. We're going to need you to do pick and rolls. We're going to need you to do alley oops with Harper or with Castle. We're going to need you to do all these different things. It's going to be different every game. And he buys into it and he does it well. When you look
Yeah.
when you look at having a player like De'Aaron Fox who can close out games, who wants the ball last 2 or 3 minutes of the game, he goes, "You need 8 points in the last 2 minutes, gotcha." When you have Castle, when healthy out there, clamping down on defense, and when you have Dylan Harper, who at 19 years old is poised to become the best Spurs point guard of all time. I know we've had Tony Parker. I know we've had Alvin Robertson. I know we've had Avery Johnson. But
Don't forget CP3.
well, yeah, but that was a 39-year-old CP3. I believe that Harper will be the greatest point guard in Spurs history. I think he's going to be a perennial all-star. I know Parker made several all-star appearances and made the Hall of Fame, but Harper is special. And every time, because I'm living in Conroe, I have to watch Spurs games without Jacob Toby, without Sean Elliott. I have to watch games half the time with the opposing teams broadcasting. And every single one of them, do you think they fawn over Castle? Do you think they fawn over Vassell or Keldon?
No.
Do you think they get all, starry eyed against
In the feels.
Sohan, get in their feels? Every single one of them goes, that guy right there. That guy right there is a superstar. Every single one of them. So you look at it. Why are the Spurs winning? The Spurs have a superstar in the making in Dylan Harper, and I'm not going to tell everybody I told you so, but I told you so. Dylan Harper is the truth, and he's able to right the ship. And look at offensively. You look at the NBA ratings when it comes to offensive production. The offensive rating when Dylan Harper's on the field, on the court, is the highest of any other Spur out there. And defensively, he's one of the top ones as well. He's bringing on both sides of the ball. He's not going to win Rookie of the Year, dude. He'll be first team. He'll be first team. He'll be alongside Cooper Flag and Queen and all those guys. He'll be the first team. But I'm a big fan of Dylan Harper and what he's bringing to this team and the basketball IQ. Having his dad, Ron Harper, there, who's a 5-time champion, means something. But going on, we had a comment here a little while ago
Yeah.
from Tex-Mex Frank say that he doesn't follow the NFL doesn't follow the NBA like he does the NFL. Is the NBA Emirates Cup really a big deal, and why? So it hasn't been a big deal for San Antonio Spurs fans because we've never qualified for it. So it's kind of like, yeah, go ahead and have your cup. We suck, so we don't care about it. But it was instituted a few years ago. This is the soccerization of the NBA because in soccer they have this in-season tournament
Yeah.
before they get to the finals. And essentially what it is, it's an in-season tournament that means money for the players. So how much money do the players get? So they have to have a financial stake in there, right? So again, this is like a quarterfinal knockout round at the Staples Center where the Lakers play. 9 o'clock tip-off today. But the winner of these games, the semifinals and the finals, are actually in Las Vegas at Allegiant Arena. So what do they get? Well, for the champions get $530,000 per player. It's $500,000, man. Which I guess for a LeBron James might not be a lot, but for the end of the bench, that's a lot of money. Second place, second place gets $212,000 per player. Third place in the tournament gets $102,000, and the quarterfinalists, look at that, the semifinals get $106,000. Quarterfinalists right now, the Spurs players right now have already banked 53 grand. So what is it worth for them today? Spurs win today, each player gets an additional $53,000 minimum. So they've got some money on the line. That's some scratch. But it's bragging rights, dude. It has nothing to do with what happens in the NBA finals or the playoffs down the road in April and May. Has nothing to do with that. But by making the quarterfinals, Joe, the Spurs are playing now. Guess who's not playing? The rest of the league. Which means this counts as a regular season game as well, which means the Spurs get rest win later on. This is kind of like a mini all-star break weekend right now.
Guess you could say.
Because 8 teams are playing, but 22 teams are at home. So later on, when those 22 teams have to make up those games, the Spurs are going to be at home getting some rest, which is great because that's going to be close to the time of the playoffs.
Well, the thing is that what we forget that's looming overhead here is going to be the rodeo road trip. So they could use all the rest they can get. But let's hear something here from the Ringer. This was courtesy of the Ringer, of course, Bill Simmons here, singing the praises of your son here, your new son, Dylan Harper. So let's.
I've never said anything bad about Dylan Harper.
I didn't say you did. I said you've been saying nothing but good things.
And I said this from when the Spurs won the lottery, got the number 2 overall pick. You don't F around and get anybody else but this dude. But this is Bill Simmons on the Ringer podcast.
This Dylan Harper thing, wow. He can do so many things offensively already. And he looks like he's 25. Some of the moves, like you can't even remember when you're watching him what hand he shoots with.
Yeah.
He's so comfortable bouncing off people and getting to the rim. I'm just absolutely in love with him as a player. I fucking love Dylan Harper. What a pick. What a fucking miracle for them.
He just gets into the lane about as easily as anybody in the league right now. And it's not, it's not all brute force. It's not all pure speed. You're right. Like he is just kind of bouncing between people. The footwork is really great. Just like a really clever player. For him to be in this like low stakes role, as you're saying, where he can just come in and be himself, it's hard not to be blown away by that on a nightly basis.
To get that dude at number 2 is, after getting Wemby, is one of the bigger combo miracles we've seen.
Look at the word that they use to describe Dylan Harper on the Bill Simmons podcast on the Ringer. Clever.
Yep, clever player.
Okay, we have seen certain players throughout the years that have been ultra fast. Remember when Russell Westbrook first got in the league? I mean, the guy would just attack the basket and just throw it down, right? You had other players like Derrick Rose who were flashy when they approached when he was healthy and winning Rookie of the Year, who were very flashy point guards. You saw Chris Paul early in his career when it came to the dynamic passing that he did and his court vision. When I see Dylan Harper play, I can't compare him to one of those point guards of the past. Who I compare him to is a baseball player. He's Greg Maddux. Remember Greg Maddux? The pitcher of the Atlanta Braves back in the day?
I remember Maddux, bro.
Greg Maddux was the most cerebral baseball player I've ever seen. And that was a guy who would you didn't know what was coming next. Was it the 90-mile-per-hour fastball? Was it a 78-mile-per-hour changeup? Was it a curve? Was it a sinker? He painted the lines and whatever the case may be to get the strikes.
Those were in the 90s.
Those were the 90s. It was amazing.
Yeah,
with
like David Justice and all them, you know?
Well, you had Glavin, Smoltz, and you had Avery, and you had Maddux. But
Yeah.
and that's the thing about Dylan Harper. Does Dylan Harper have athleticism? Of course he does. Can he get to the rim and power it down and dunk it with two hands? Of course he can. But what Dylan Harper does is he does different pitch speeds on the basketball court where you don't know what he's going to be doing. Because 1 minute he's just meandering his way through the lane and cutting through and just squeaking by and then doing a layup and doing it at a slow pace. Like you don't expect him to go by you, and all of a sudden he goes by you. And then there's other times when he just races through, and then there's other times when he's racing through and he kicks it out. Other times he's racing through, he's doing it behind the back. You don't know as a defense what Dylan Harper's doing because he has so much in his bag. And because he has so much in his bag, he paints the lines. He changes the pitches each time he goes up and he goes to the lane.
Look at what JHNSB saying, Mike.
Yeah. Yeah, it says JHSB, Harper hitting the game winning shot at 19. Not even Wemby did that. Well, Harper, I mean, first of all, Harper taking in the lane and off the glass was amazing, because they wanted Fox to take that last shot, and Fox got double teamed. They kicked it out to Harper, and Harper, instead of trying to find an open Champagny or Cornet down low, what did he do? He took it to the hole. Yeah. And you cannot say that he took it to the hole with the intent of scoring. He's taking the ball to the hole with the intent of making the right play. Yeah. And sometimes when you make the right play, that means you shoot the ball. Sometimes that means you facilitate. But Harper is so smart. The basketball IQ on that man is through the roof. And because of that, he's playing at a level that's above his years. He's 19 years old. And as Bill Simmons said, he's playing like he's 25. That is for real. That is for real.
They've been making fun of you in the chat. They're like, Castle's up for adoption. Mike left Castle outside in the rain. And I'm going to share these stats. That's what I've been sharing on the screen with you guys right now. This is courtesy of Paul Garcia on the X, a friend of mine here. Great Spurs coverage that he gives out. I like that he's very statistical. He likes to put out stats, right?
Yeah.
And numbers, stuff like that. So what he put out is how well Dylan Harper was playing against the Pelicans, and basically how he made his shots. And he was just saying that he went 5 of 6 with his left hand on layups and 4 of 5 with his right hand on layups. His final 3 makes were all with his right hand, and over half his shots are coming at the rim. He's able to get to the rim with these. He's able to go ahead and use either hand. What do they call that? Ambidextrous.
Ambidextrous. Yeah.
So I mean,
and that adds to the idea that you don't know what he's doing. How do you prepare for that? Because remember, Manu finished with his left hand all the time, occasionally with his right. But if you wanted to do something with Manu, what would you do? You try to force him to the right. And then Parker could finish with both hands, but he wanted to finish with his right. And Dylan Harper, again with the baseball metaphors, is not only pitching like Greg Maddux, but he's also a switch hitter. Left-handed, right-handed, whatever. He can do it both ways. And it's just so much fun to watch. And it's not a diss on Castle. As I've mentioned before, and I've said this from the get-go, Joe, Castle's going to be a 2 or 3 time All-Star in the NBA. 2 or 3 time All-Star in the NBA. His jersey will hang from the rafters at some point at the Frostbank Center or whatever they call the new arena downtown. But Dylan Harper is going to be a 6 to 8 time All-Star. He is going to be. And he'll probably be an All-Star as early as next year, if not the year after. It will happen in his rookie deal. But if you saw the stats that you had over there, 52% of his shots came from where? The restricted area.
Yeah.
Restricted area means he's getting to the hole. That means he's getting layups, or at the very least, little bunny shots, the little floaters that Parker used to do back in the day. So that's why it's so smart. Why is the shooting percentage so high? It's because he's shooting smart shots. He's not forcing the ball out there. I have yet to see, and I'm knocking on wood here, I've yet to see Dylan Harper take a bad shot. We see Vassell do it all the time, right? Ill-advised shot. We see Sohan do an ill-advised shot. We see everybody do a bad shot from time to time. I have never seen Harper take a shot that he didn't legitimately have a good chance of making. That's the smart thing about it. He does the corner threes at a pretty good clip, but he's a mid-range monster in the paint 68% of the time. Look at that. 68% in the paint, 52% from the restricted area. That is, and that's 168 of his shots, or 95%, 95 of the 140 shots are from the paint or restricted area. Okay, because restricted area is in the paint, but not all paint shots are in the restricted area, right? So 95 of 140, that basically means what? 70% of his shots are in the lane?
Yep.
What more do you want from a guy that's a point guard? He's not out there like Wemby last year shooting 7 3-pointers. He's not out there trying to do that's why whenever I compare him to a DeMar DeRozan, people get mad because they're like, well, what has DeMar DeRozan won? What I'm saying is DeMar DeRozan was very deliberate with where he shoots the ball. He shot the ball where he knew he could make it, and he was a mid-range monster. Dylan Harper being a mid-range monster like DeMar DeRozan is not a bad thing. I'm just saying he's a Venn diagram, Joe, of DeMar DeRozan, of Manu Ginobili, of Ron Harper. He is a Venn diagram of all. He takes a little bit of each of those and becomes who he is.
And there's some other stats here with Dylan Harper here, and it's showing, other stats, and not just with Harper, but with like Cornette, Johnson, Castle, when Victor was playing, Fox, Champagne, Harrison Barnes, Devin Vassell. And you're looking at the percentage of shots that they have, along with field goals attempted, field goals made, all sorts of data here. Interesting to see. And all this goes to tell you one important thing, like how well the Spurs are doing right now, putting together a team that's still able to compete at a high level without their star player in one Victor Wembanyama. It's gotten national attention here because they were talking about it on the Run It Back podcast, right? I'm going to play this video, and they had Boogie Cousins, former, NBA player there, singing the praises of one San Antonio Spurs and how good, how good the team is at putting together this talent. So let's hear a little bit about what he had to say.
I think this is tradition at this point. This is an organization that has shown time and time again that they know how to do it the correct way, through the draft, through development, through keeping, drafted talent in home, all of the above. So I'm not surprised by this group. Once again, they struck gold. They got a fine young group that they can move forward, has a bright future. And this was just a prime example of it. So I'm not surprised by it at all. We saw it with Duncan. We saw it with the teams before that. This is an organization that is known to do it this way, and they'll continue to do so.
Yeah,
there you go.
Very, very, very true. The Spurs, lucked into it, man. You had to have the number 1 overall pick. The Spurs had a 14% chance of getting Wemby. They got Wemby.
They don't always tank, but when they do, it turned it into a number 1 pick.
Right. They had less than a 50% chance of going to the top 4 again. They did. They got Castle. And then they won again with the number 2 overall pick and getting Dylan Harper. We had JHNSB ask a question on our chat, powered by PF Chang's La Cantera. Why can't Harper win Rookie of the Year? Well, there's several reasons for that. He's not going to get the statistical run that he would need to get it. Last year, we saw Castle win Rookie of the Year at 14 points per game, like 14.4, 14.6, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It was a bad draft class. Now, Castle, and this is when Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs, he did not like it when I phrased this with him. I said, Castle was the 3rd worst Rookie of the Year in 25 years. He did deserve to win it compared to his contemporaries last year.
It was a bad draft.
But it was a bad draft, right? Yeah. Normally, Castle's stats and what he produced would not normally win Rookie of the Year 22 out of 25 years. But it was one of the 3 years where everybody's stats were down, and Castle ended up winning it. He is Rookie of the Year. He is going to have a good career. He's going to be an all-star one day. But that being said, this year's class is a lot better. Keep in mind, Harper's already missed 11 games, right? So his competition is that. So let's go over the stats of the rookies. This is courtesy of Basketball Reference. The one player, who is the one player that averages the most points among all the rookies? It's Konka Nipple from Charlotte, averaging 18 points per game.
He's getting a lot of burn out there, though.
Yeah. Cooper Flagg, 17.3. Jeremiah Fears, 15.4. VJ Edgecombe of the Sixers, 14.4, and Dylan Harper's fifth at 13.5. When it comes to rebounds, some dude named Ryan Kalbrenner leads it. Derek Queen of New Orleans is second. Cooper Flagg is third. Cedric Howard is fourth, right? So I guess what I'm trying to say is that he's not going to get the statistical run that you would need for that. That's the problem. Now, when it comes
he
to
is showing you that he's going to be a very good player, though. You can already see that.
Right.
Yeah.
When it comes to assists, he's third among all rookies. When it comes to steals, he's seventh among all rookies. So you look at it, his stats are getting better, and he's going to catch up to all of those things, all of those players. But at the end of the day, I think the best case scenario for Spurs fans is he's going to be part of All-Star Weekend, the freshman sophomore challenge, right? He'll be part of that. The second aspect of it all is that he'll be first team All-NBA rookie. He'll make the first team.
Yeah.
JHSB asks the question, Mike, what are your thoughts on Mitch's coaching? Both are worrisome, and Wemby is durably. What are you talking about Mitch Johnson? Okay, how selfish are Spurs fans to look at a coach who's a first year head coach, right? The first time he's ever had. Okay, I know he coached last year, but he was thrown into the fire. This is his first full season as head coach with an off season, with his own staff and all that stuff. And he's 16-7, and everyone's like, "Man, Mitch sucks as coach, dude. His adjustments in the third quarter suck." You know what? The Spurs suck in the third quarter.
You're gonna throw the fans the finger, Mike? Come on.
The Spurs suck in the third quarter. Guess what they did under Pop the 6 seasons before that? They sucked in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter. And we're all going to bitch and complain that the Spurs are slow in the third. I don't know what's going on with that when it comes to the third quarter. Maybe he needs to have a shorter leash. But come on, man. They're killing it in the first quarter. They're killing it in the fourth quarter. They're 16-7. That's like what they call first world problems. That's a first world problem to have right there.
And look, he's
16-7 without Wemby, without Harper half the season, without Fox half the season, and everyone's like, he's kind of struggling. I don't see what's going on.
Joy-Con Drip King is telling you, Mike. Mike arguing against his own burner account is crazy.
Joe, I am not technologically savvy enough to know how to handle a burner account.
This is one of the things though that's happening. I get what Spurs fans are saying, like JHNSB. Mitch Johnson gets out coached at times by some of the more let's say seasoned or some of the better coaches in the league.
Steve Kerr,
right?
It was Steve Kerr twice.
He gets out coached. Let's be honest, But again, I mean, this is his first year coaching in the league under his reign, right? He's chosen his staff and whatnot. I mean, it's his first year. He's a rookie coach. I mean, what do they want him to do? Not get out coached by some of the more seasoned coaches out there in the league? It's going to happen, man. They're saying that same thing's going to happen tonight. I saw the comment saying that just wait, JJ Redick's going to outcoach Mitch Johnson. I don't know if that has to come down to coaching more than it does matchups. The problem with the Spurs going up against the Lakers, and we've said this notoriously, Mike, is what? They don't match up well against the Lakers, man.
Well, I mean, and so you can't say that JJ Redick's going to outcoach the Spurs when he has Luka Doncic on that team, and he has LeBron James, and he has Austin Reeves.
Mm-hmm.
Arguably the three best players on the court are Laker players, right? You have LeBron and the Tres Leches, and still the greatest nickname for LaRavia, Austin Reeves, and for who am I missing? Austin Reeves, LaRavia, and either way. Oh, and Doncic.
No.
It's home cooking. It's a home game. And we're going to see this, right? The Spurs are going to lose tonight, and it's going to be like, he got out coached. No, the Lakers have better talent out there.
Look at Charlie Hernandez. Mitch got out coached by the Pels.
Who won?
They
Scoreboard,
said Mitch
right?
needs to work on halftime adjustments. And that's like a no shit kind of thing. It's like, it's not so much adjustments coming in the second half. It's more the players executing the game plan. I'm sure that they do make adjustments. They do have a game plan coming in, from first and second quarter. You're coming in to finish the game in the third and fourth. The problem with the Spurs is that right now it's all between the ears, dude. I mean, they can hear the coach, they can hear the game plan, they know what the scheme is. It comes down to execution, and that's indicative of a team that needs to go ahead and get to that other gear. They need to be able to grow and get there. And there's levels to the game. And right now the Spurs are starting to find their stride, but they need to play a complete 48 minutes. Now, if they could do that consistently, Mike.
Joe, let me ask you this question. Name one team other than the Oklahoma City Thunder who plays consistently for 48 minutes.
Not everybody does. But you know what? What are the Oklahoma City Thunder, though? They're the champions, right?
The champions.
They're the champs. That's what happens when you can play consistent basketball. What I'm alluding to right now is that the Spurs play in spurts, right? And that third quarter has been their Achilles heel. Now, if they can go ahead and kind of shore that up a little bit more,
yeah,
and play better, they give themselves a better chance of winning against the better teams in the NBA and against some of the worst teams like the Pelicans. You can't squander a 25-point lead like that against a team you should be just dominating. Even without Wemby, the Spurs should have easily won that game. It shouldn't have even gotten there. But it comes down to execution, sloppy play, getting cute with the ball, missed assignments on the defensive end. I mean, all that was an ugly win. I mean, yeah, it was a win, but it was ugly. Now, if they can go ahead and just play more consistent basketball, I think the team can actually move up in the standings a little bit, but they just got to clean some things up.
This is a game, Joe, in which they were up by 20 points in the game, right?
25, Mike, 25.
So which is it? Because if Mitch Johnson is the reason why they lose leads, isn't he the reason why they gain leads? Isn't he the reason why they come back to win? I mean, you can't have it. You can't be hypocritical about that. I'm not saying you, Joe. I'm just talking about regular Spurs fans talking about this. It's like, well, if he sucks, then how did they get up 25 points? And don't say talent. He's doing this without Wemby, half the season without Harper, half the season without Castle. You can't say that. So when he asks the question, so welcome to the show, July 9326. That's a new name for me. Says, what's the honest grade you'd give Mitch based on what's happened this season? The answer is an A, Joe. I know that they've struggled in the third quarter and all that, Joe. But guess what? Scoreboard. What do you say about numbers never lie, Joe? Please tell me the Shakespearean soliloquy you give me on numbers never lie.
Say, people lie, women lie, the numbers don't lie.
And you know what the numbers say, Joe? The dude's 16-7, missing half the season of Castle, Wemby, and Harper. What more do you want? Like if we had said, Joe, remember early in the season, God, if the Spurs can get to 46 to 48 wins, okay, if the Spurs are getting 46 to 48 wins and we're 23 games in the season, Spurs are 16-7, that would mean that we would have been happy them being 12 and 13-9. 13, 16-7, right? Maybe being, 13-10, right? We're 3 games above where we wanted them to be, man. Nefozuna, good morning, coming out and saying, I agree with Mike. It's an A. I mean, what more do you want? The Spurs are not going to win every single game. They're not.
Look at what our good friend Elias says. He goes, the San Antonio Spurts. Copyright that, because that's what they do, man. They come out in spurts.
Well, that's the NBA in general. The NBA in general is called the game of runs.
And look at that. That's what I'm getting. Man, I look like Joe Stradamus now. What did I tell you all about Wemby, man? I've been telling you all.
Okay, I want you to lead this part of the conversation. Go ahead and go, Joe.
What did I know? Because you're scared. Don't be scared. You say what
no,
your chest out.
No.
I'm
not afraid to speak with my chest out. I am saying I want to hear you cook.
I told you all, man. I said, what happens when you have a guy that's Wemby size in the league? Their lifespan is shortened because they get decimated by injury. And you said the best availability is, or best of. How do you say
the best ability is availability.
Is availability, right? So what happens? Wemby's not available. And I get, hey, man, things happen, what have you. Injuries are part of the game. But there's this early on in the season already hurt. Like it doesn't help your team when one of your best players is always hurt. Mm-hmm. I get like shades of Joel Embiid, Zion. Is this what's going to happen consistently? Like Wemby can't stay healthy, man. Like you need him there on the court for you to be able to be like, hey, this team is going to be special, man. They're going to be 3rd, 4th seed. If Wemby's healthy, they're not even in the 6th seed. They're not the 5th. Maybe they're the 4th or the 3rd. But the problem is he can't stay healthy. He's going to come back, no doubt. Oh, look at Wemby. Wemby's going to have a good couple games. Book it. Out again, injury.
Joe, if this happens in April or May, I'd 100% agree with you. But the fact of the matter is that Wemby has never had a playoffs to miss. So if he misses playoffs, if you were having this conversation in April where he has another calf injury and they sit him down for the rest of the playoffs, the rest of the year, then I will 100% sign whatever form I need to sign to agree with you, Joe.
I ain't signing no apology form, man.
No.
I'm stay healthy. I threw it away.
I'm signing an apology form for you, Joe, not for Wemby, for you.
No.
I'm saying that I would agree with you. But I'm saying is that maybe the Spurs are just being ultra cautious because I bet you that's what they're doing. I bet you the Spurs are just being like, we don't need you right now. And in fact, it's so funny because there was this whole idea that Wemby would be available for the Emirates Cup today, which he's not. He's out for the game. There was and I don't know if it was like legit or not. I don't know if this was legit or not. There was when the Spurs release a injury report, they will oftentimes say when they expect a player to come back, right? So what did they say about Dylan Harper? They said Dylan Harper expected back. It was like in the notes, expected timetable back around December 1. And then when it said Castle, they said around December 4th. Guess what happened, Joe? It was December 1, December 4th. They released Wemby's, and I don't know. I saw it one place, Joe. And again, I don't know if it was fake or not, but the two other ones were true. This one said date of return, December 24th. So the Spurs may have released that weeks ago. That they were simply going to hold him back until the Christmas Day games because they have back-to-back games against the Oklahoma City Thunder, and that they'll bring him back for that. But again, that whole thing got erased right away, but I saw it with my own eyes.
They want us to play the conspiracy music. What Mike is saying, you're going to do the air quotes.
Air quotes. Tony Orlando says blood clot doesn't count, and that's true because that's a health issue.
Oh,
that's not an
man.
injury.
They're always going to say that. And what did Tony Orlando say? Everyone's getting a calf strain this season. It's okay. Everyone else is getting it. Wemby, it's okay, Wemby. I'm still here, Wemby. I'm still here. And if you miss 20, 30, 40 games a season, I'm still here, Wemby.
Big Sean, Big Sean saying this is Wemby's first time with an actual injury. The last time was a blood clot. That's not an injury, Joe. That's not an injury. That's a medical condition. That's you cannot get pissed off at somebody for having a medical condition.
Is going to be him hurt every freaking year, bro. That's a chronic condition.
That's a medical condition, Joe.
You know what? They have a phrase for that chronic condition. It's called Wimpy Ganas.
Side effects include
side effects might be missing 20 games every season. No ganas when you're out there on the court. Tiene miedo. He can't go ahead and get past the little defender. You know.
All right, so the Spurs are taking on the Lakers tonight. Lakers big time favorites in the Emirates Cup knockout game. It is a 9:00 tip off, Joe. So we're gonna have to stay up late. Which, by the way, 9:00 in December is different than 9:00 in July. 9:00 in July, it's still sunny outside. Dude, last night I was so tired. It was 7 p.m. It looked like it was midnight outside. But the Spurs are favorite to lose this game. Vegas has this as a 7.5-point spread. Again, 9:00 on Amazon Prime Video. It's going to come after the Suns and Thunder game in the other quarterfinal game. Thunder coming in at 23-1. Thunder favored by 14.5 in that game. The standings right now, Joe. Spurs at 16-7. One game separates the Lakers at 2 and the Spurs at 5.
Look at that.
17-6 Lakers, 17-6 Denver Nuggets, 16-6 or 15-6 rather, Houston Rockets and the 16-7 Spurs. So one game separates all four teams, Joe.
Yeah, one game separates 4, 5, and 6. You know, if you want to move up in the standings,
2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, 6 right now is 15-9. That's the Minnesota Timberwolves. Look at what it takes to make the play-in, Joe. Number 10 is the Portland Trailblazers at 9-15. So I think it's pretty much assured the Spurs are going to make the play-in tournament because the moving target is being 31-51 will get you into the play-in tournament.
yeah,
Spurs,
I mean,
and Spurs are 2.5 games above the Phoenix Suns right now for being in the top 6. Spurs are doing all right, man. Might actually make the playoff, Joe, which again was while removing the goalpost on the Spurs. The goal was, Joe, get in the top 6, right? Get in the top 6. They're there. Why is everybody bitching?
They want to see him play better. I wonder, what is this team going to look like on Wemby Gana, Sonny, when he comes back to the court?
That's a very good question, Joe. That's a very good question. You know what's another good question? What are we having for lunch today? Because P.F. Chang's La Cantera opens in 15 minutes. That's right, at 11 o'clock they get going with their Chinese food, and then they have their drink specials all day long, the $8.99 specials for the Jade Margarita, the Long Island Iced Tea, the Lychee Martini, the Lemon Drop Martini, and 4 others. Again, let's show some love to P.F. Chang's La Cantera on this, a Wednesday, half off bottles of wine and champagne.
P.F. Chang's La Cantera, San Antonio's premier destination for dinner, date night, or happy hour. Enjoy one of their signature dishes, such as the Singapore street noodles, sesame chicken, or Chang's spicy chicken, or their infamous Chang's chicken lettuce wraps, which are delicious, by the way. You can enjoy all this while you're dining in an Asian-inspired atmosphere. And make sure to enjoy the new outdoor patio and try some of P.F. Chang's signature cocktails and drinks during happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. P.F. Chang's La Cantera is a proud sponsor of the Area 210 podcast.
That's right. Go say hi to Sean Quintero out there at P.F. Chang's La Cantera. Let them know that the Area 210 podcast sent you there. And again, don't forget, man, they hook us up with guests from time to time. We've had Frank Harris. We've had Goldberg. We've had the Von Erich brothers and the twins, all that. This Friday, the 12th, we're going to have Billy Madison for the Billy Madison Show, which is a big get for our podcast. I don't know if Nard's going to be there or not, but Billy Madison for the Billy Madison Show will be on. It'll be a fantastic time with him.
We got to get him come up with some good topics for Friday then, man.
We do. We didn't talk about that off air. By the way, thank you to Fernandez for filling in yesterday. Joe, you know, do you ever like walk around and just step in a big pile of crap and that smell just lingers around?
Is that what happened, Mike?
Well, no. Or how about this, man? How about like watching a scary movie and you think the villain is killed, and then they come back again. They come back to life. And then you think they're killed again. And then, they come back for one more scare, right?
One more scare. It always has to happen that way.
What's it going to take to kill the Dallas Cowboys playoff chances?
Well, you just have to have the Eagles win. Unfortunately, that's a hard get right now. Wouldn't it be so ironic, Mike? And you mean, this is Dallas Cowboy football right here. It's always draped in some type of controversy, something going on, right? Drama. I mean, what a way to end a season, right? You're left for dead. You lose the game, and you're like, okay, man, that's it. They're done.
Yeah.
You know, you lose a game against the Lions, they're done. Nope. The Eagles say, hold my beer. We're not done losing yet. And they lose another one.
Mm-hmm.
And they leave the door open. So basically, this is what has to happen. Cowboys got to win out. Eagles got to lose 2 more games.
Yeah, so RJ Achillo from Blogging the Boys said it is a magic number 6. You need a combination of 6 either Cowboy victories and Eagles losses. So the Eagles lose 3, and there's 4 games left in the season, and the Cowboys win 3, they're in. I thought that was a perfect way of saying it. Magic number being 6. And Joe, I want to see it. The hater in me says, just kill the Cowboys, man. But
thick six.
all right.
Oh, good.
but the magic number being 6, Joe. Can the Cowboys? That's 1.5 points. That's 1.5 numbers each week, right? The Eagles have an easy schedule, but then again, the Eagles have been sucking ass last few weeks. They've lost back-to-back games. Cowboys just lost to Detroit. Can you imagine if the Cowboys had beaten Detroit and were essentially half a game out? I mean, the fever pitch that you would have as Cowboy fans. Cowboys, do they have to win out? Yeah. I think the Cowboys have to win out because they'll go 4-0. The Eagles are looking like they're circling the drain right now, but they had such a huge lead earlier in the season that they might just hang on by the skin of their teeth. And it's because that Cowboys tie against the Green Bay Packers might be hurting them. By the way, the Bears going from the 1 seed to the 7 seed in 1 week in 3 hours was hysterical, by the way.
And look at Nesio Drummer. He says, that's Sam. 11% left my ass off, Elias. He's talking about Elias. But
NFL.com says that the Cowboys have a 9% chance of winning the NFC East, and that there could be a 2% chance of getting into the wild card, right? So yeah, I mean, a 9 to 11% chance of making the playoffs. It's 1 in 10, which, by the way, after they lost to the Lions, looked like what, 1%.
1%. But you know, the funny thing is that Nesio Drummer likes to, I guess, talk a lot of crap when it comes to Cowboys, but his team ain't doing much better either. He's a Kansas City Chiefs fan.
Oh, that's funny, dude. The Chiefs,
pour some out for them. Time of death was when the Cowboys beat y'all's ass. So don't come talking to me about nothing other than Cowboys. Puro pinche Cowboys a la verga.
Big games this weekend. We've got the Falcons at the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers at 7-6, holding on to a slim lead in the NFC South. They're tied with Carolina right now. The Bears, who are 9-4, take on the Browns in a cold game there in the Midwest, there in the Windy City. Here's the thing, Joe. I know we hadn't done picks in a while, but that Bears defense is so freaking good. If they're playing like in snow and in slop, that's going to be a tough game for the Bears to win. You have the Ravens on the road against the Bengals. The Ravens at 6-7, a game out of first place in their division. The Chiefs at 6-7 hosting the Chargers, who are coming in at 9-4. Kansas City somehow still favored in this game. The Chiefs suck, dude.
They're done, dude. They're washed, man.
One of the games of the week, Bills on the road against the Patriots. The Bills at 9-4, Patriots 11-2. Patriots with a 2-game lead in the AFC East. Somehow
they lead their division.
Look at look how insulting this is, Joe. Buffalo by 1.5 on the road against an 11.
Man, no.
Drake May is gonna crown himself as the.
What did I tell everybody, Mike? What did I tell everybody in the beginning of the season? And I said that Patriots team could be a dark horse team, and that team is good. That team good, Mike. That team real good.
Toilet Bowl in New York. You got the Giants taking on the Commanders, a 3-10 Commanders team against a 2-11 Giants team. You've got the Raiders on the road against the Eagles. Eagles are by 11.5 points. Noon game on Fox. If the Eagles don't win that game, they have no business being in the playoffs. Jets on the road against the Jaguars. The Jaguars are 9-4, still ahead of the Texans right now in that division. Speaking of the Texans, they're 8-5. Home game against the Cardinals. Dude, they're going to be 9-5 at the end of this week, Joe.
That Texans defense, there was somebody, I think it was Mina Kimes, that had I was watching TV and I just heard her talk about that. And she had posted, I think, somewhere that if this Houston, Texas team somehow manages to get into the Super Bowl, they should have a nickname for their defense.
That's good.
I'm like, damn, because that Texans defense is good. It's the offense that, no, man, they do enough to get it done.
You want to see insulting, Joe? Remember I told you that the New England Patriots are 11-2 and they're favored to lose? The 11-2 Broncos are home and favored to lose this game this weekend to the Green Bay Packers, who are coming in at 9-3-1. Green Bay favored by 2.5 points. That's going to be a great game. The over-under is 43.5. It's going to be Vegas is predicted a low-scoring game over there. Rams hosting the Lions. The Lions still fighting for that last playoff spot at 8-5 right now. They need this win. This is a playoff game for the Lions. They need this win. Panthers on the road against the Saints. Panthers tied with the Bucks. in the NFC South right now at 7-6. Saints coming off a victory. Saints beat the Bucks last week. They lowered from the number 2 pick in the draft to the number 5. Say bye to Fernando Mendoza. Titans on the road against the Niners. All the Niners do is win, Joe. Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. All they do is win, 9-4. The Colts and the Seahawks. Well, I'll get to them in a second. Vikings, Cowboys. Cowboys are 6-1. Vikings are 5-8. Cowboys fair by 5.5 at home. Dolphins, Steelers. Dude, the Dolphins are 6-7. Remember when their coach was circling the drain? They're gonna get back to 500. They're gonna get back to 500 this week.
What was his favorite? His best catchphrase? In order to win the game, you got to play to not lose the game. What a dumbass.
And the Colts are on the road against the Seahawks. Did you see who the Colts brought in?
Oh God, Phillip Rivers, bro. Well, you know what, man? How many kids does that brother have, man? He's got a ton of kids, doesn't he?
Well, I mean, yeah, he's got, according to AI, he's got 10 kids,
God.
7 daughters and 3 sons.
I mean, he ain't never gonna rest, brother. He's gonna be working the rest of his damn life.
Which is funny because he's a semifinalist for the Hall of Fame next year. And typically, if you play a game, you have to kick it back 5 years. He is a Hall of Famer, right? He's going to be a Hall of Famer. He has the odds. He has the stats. He doesn't have the Super Bowl victories or whatnot. But the belief is that the reason why they're bringing him in at age 44 is because he coaches high school football and he runs the Colts offense, and that he was on daily and weekly conversations with the organization about that offense so that he could prepare him as a high school coach. So because he knows how the offense functions and works, they're bringing his ass in to try out for the team. Meantime, Anthony Richardson is just looking off to the side like, what about me? That's how bad Anthony Richardson is, by the way. He sucks.
Man. You know what? I bet you Phillip Rivers' wife was ecstatic. She's like, man, all right, you get to go back to work. Get out the house. Go make that money.
And if you want to make that money, give me a call. My number is 210-508-0369. You saw what I did there, Joe?
Yeah, I did.
It's called a professional transition. Hey, give me a call if you have any questions about retirement accounts, man. You know, yeah, old 401k account, old TSP account. Give me a call, 210-508-0369. Maybe you need life insurance. Maybe you need long-term care or disability. Maybe you have a business and want to offer some benefits to your employees of some sort. Give me a call, 210-508-0369. And, you know, the show's been good to me, man. The show's gotten a lot of clients out of the show. Very, very, very nice.
Look at this, what they're saying. Phillip Rivers' theme song is the one Houdini made. Houdini made. But you know what his theme song should be?
Money talks.
Here comes the money.
Ooh, so you know what? What are we predicting tonight, Mike? Lakers, Spurs, 9:00 tip. Gonna be on Amazon Prime. So I don't want to hear nobody saying. I hate when I go on social media and they're like, "What channel's the game coming out on? Does anybody have a link?" Oh, you poor mother, you know.
Joe, why are you sounding like me right now?
I'm just like, bro, come on, man. Like, get Amazon Prime. They act like it's $100 a month. No mames, dude. I hate when they do that. What channel is the game on? Google it. Like, you can't pick up your phone.
It's
like,
on
damn,
Amazon
that
Prime.
shit irritates me.
We hate to tell you, man. You got to have more than one streaming service, baby. You know, well, what did the commissioner say? We're a highlight league anyway.
Highlight league. You can't afford Amazon Prime. Watch the highlights.
Watch the
highlights. God, who you got tonight, Mike?
I got the Lakers tonight. You know, it's a bad matchup for the Spurs. It really is. Now, I'm not saying the Spurs can't win it. I'm not saying that I'd be shocked if they do. But the one thing I would say about is this. That is not the same LeBron James.
No.
LeBron James is a shell of himself compared to what he has been throughout his career. So if the Spurs can get past the fact that he's there and maybe take it to him, maybe body him up because he's not the same guy anymore. There's that. And then you got to see what the refs are doing, man, because if they're going to be riding Doncic's jock the entire game, I wouldn't be a fan of that. But LeBron James averaging 16 points per game this year. He did have 29 against Philly a couple of games ago.
Look at Tex-Mex Frank. Quote of the day, Joe. You poor mother.
You poor mother.
Oh, look at this. Sam Salinas DMing your Amazon credentials so I can go watch. No, mames, bro.
Who doesn't in the year 2025 have Amazon Prime? It comes your Amazon subscription comes with having Amazon Prime, having the ability to buy crap online. How do you not have that?
Your bar tab's more than $16, man. Come on, dude. Y'all can't afford Amazon Prime. Come on, no. You pay more than that for a beer, right? If you go to the Frost Center and you buy a beer.
I mean,
right? Like,
you know the problem is Padre can't watch.
Oh, that Padre's a liar, dude. And you know what? They let's go ahead and show what they have as far as the odds makers in Vegas. This is what they have right now. Spurs are the underdogs. They got the Lakers by 7.5. Mike, you think they're gonna cover?
Yeah, it's 7.5 sounds about right. I mean,
7.5.
I mean, Spurs lose by 7, maybe cover by half a point. Plus 225 if you think the Spurs are going to win outright. Yeah. Like I said, I wouldn't be shocked, but you would need to have Harper, Castle, and Fox, so all three go off. If those three combine for 60 points, they got a chance. 60 points for those three.
I think the Spurs can win this game, but the problem is, what kind of third quarter are they going to have?
Yeah.
The Spurs can win this game. To me, it's going to all boil down to what type of third quarter do they have? Do they come out and execute in that third quarter? Or do they just lay down and be like, well, we had a good run first and second, and then that's all she wrote. Because if they go down by like 15-20 against the Lakers team and they're on the road, who do you think's going to win that game? The calls are going to go in favor of who? The Lakers. Obviously, so the Spurs are going to have 2 games they're going to play tonight. They're going to play against the Lakers and the refs, but it's all part of the game, so you just got to be smart. You got to execute, and hopefully they can have a good third quarter. If they have a good third quarter, things might get interesting. They might give themselves a chance. They might do enough to maybe F around and find out,
I will give you that much. They need to play a full 4 quarters. Yeah. 3 quarters isn't going to be enough. If you want to go to TMZ.com, comedian Andy Dick, according to the TMZ, saying that he slumped over after an apparent OD, and people had to go after him and check him out. Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Like a homeless man.
I don't ever want this to happen to anybody, man.
Damn.
But historically, this guy has been known as a complete jackass in Hollywood circles. A lot of people even believe that he's the reason why Chris Farley died. How can you be a junkie for that long, though, man? How is he still alive?
Same thing could be said for Ozzy. Remember how many years Ozzy had on him, dude?
He's been on this for 40 years, man. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. But Andy Dick OD'd there in California yesterday. Got saved, though. Got rescued. He had his friends there. I think back at least he had somebody there for him. When that happened to one of my best friends, man, no one was around, and he ended up passing away.
Damn. Hanover Fist says normal day for him.
Yeah, I mean, what is Andy Dick known for? I mean, I remember him being in that role in oh my God, Old School. Remember he was in the movie Old School with Will Ferrell? Yeah. I remember that role that he was in. Was he on Saturday Night Live for a little while?
I think he did come out. He was a guest. I think he did some skits and stuff. He was on that sitcom. What was it called? About the newsroom or something like that?
Oh, was it News Radio? No.
News Radio, yeah. I think it was. News Radio, yeah. He came out on that short-lived sitcom, and then he made his way to MTV doing some type of it was like a Saturday Night Live, where they were doing a bunch of skits and like stuff like that. It was short-lived. It was called The Andy Dick Show. That's when they had the Tom Green, Andy Dick thing going on, and they were trying a whole bunch of different things. It didn't really stick. Short-lived. I think it had less than a season at that.
Sam Salinas says he was in Road Trip. That's right. He was.
Yeah. He was.
Yeah, he was the guy that was. Wait, what was he in the road trip? I remember. Oh, he was a hotel. He was the guy that ran the hotel. He's a
Yeah.
hotel manager.
Oh God, I know we got to call the show already, Mike, because it's already past 11, and you got things to do. You got to
Yeah,
catch up.
sorry for the short show today, fellas, but I took the day off yesterday because my wife's son. Everyone's saying he's your stepson. That is true.
It's true.
Graduated from Rice yesterday with a master's in biomedical engineering. It was a fantastic day, but because of that, I had to miss work, so fell a little bit behind. So I'm gonna have to call it an early show today. But congratulations to Julian for graduating with his master's. He got his undergrad over at UT. He's a fine young man, man. He's an excellent young man. Chica did a fantastic job raising him and her daughter as well. So, but we'll have to call it a game, call it a show. Text message Frank saying Andy Dick was hilarious employee of the month. That's right. That was a cute movie. I mean, I'm not saying that was a great movie. It was all right. You know, it passes the time.
Was that the one that had Jessica Simpson in it?
It was, man. It was,
right.
And it was when, what was that? What was that comedian that was really big for like a 2-year period? Dane Cook, right?
Okay.
Dane Cook was in that movie, and yeah, it was about they were all trying to compete for employee of the month because they thought that she'd date him if he won employee of the month. So it was a stupid movie. It was a stupid movie.
All right, man. We're gonna go ahead and call it. Hopefully, the Spurs win against the Lakers tonight. If they do, they're going to Vegas, but I got the Spurs winning. I think they're going to go ahead and beat the Lakers tonight. I think it'll be a close game, maybe come down to a last-second shot. But if it comes down to a last-second shot, I think De'Aaron Fox is up for the challenge, man. Got the Lakers losing to the Spurs by no less than 1 point.
I got 60 points. Harper, Castle, Fox. You get them 60 points, they win the game. That's it.
There you go.
You needed 60 from those three. We'll be back tomorrow talking about the Emirates Cup quarterfinal tomorrow, and we'll talk more about the NFL because NFL, what week are we in? 15? Gets going tomorrow. So let's talk about it tomorrow. Everyone have a fantastic day, man.
We'll see you all tomorrow. We're out. Peace.
See ya.